Do you bear your own burden? Galatians 6:5. For each one should carry their own load. In the Greek text, the word carry or bear is bastasei, from the root bastazō, meaning to lift, take up, or bear responsibility. The word for load is phortion, which refers to a personal assigned load, not an overwhelming burden, but a duty each person must carry before God. This verse teaches us to take full spiritual responsibility for the life God has entrusted to us. We cannot shift our accountability onto others. Bearing our own burden means living in obedience, faith, and perseverance without relying on others to do for us what we must do ourselves. Here are 14 supporting verses that explain the spiritual meaning of every man shall bear his own burden. 1. Romans 14:12. So then, each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. Each person must one day stand before God and explain their own life, not another's. 2. Proverbs 14:14. The faithless will be fully repaid for their ways, and the good rewarded for theirs. What you sow, you alone will reap. No one else can take your reward or your consequence. 3. Ezekiel 18:20. The one who sins is the one who will die. The child will not share the guilt of the parent. God judges each individual according to their own sin and righteousness, not someone else's. 4. Matthew 16:27. For the Son of Man is going to come, and then he will reward each person according to what they have done. Jesus will personally repay everyone according to their own deeds, faithful or unfaithful. 5. 2 Corinthians 5-10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ. Every person will give account for their actions before Christ without exception. 6. James 1:22. Do not merely listen to the word, do what it says. You cannot depend on others' obedience. Your own practice of the word is required. 7. Philippians 2:12. Continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. God calls you to pursue salvation personally and seriously, not casually or dependently. 8. 1 Timothy 5:8. Anyone who does not provide for their relatives has denied the faith. Even in practical matters, each one bears the burden of their responsibility before God. 9. Romans 2:6. God will repay each person according to what they have done. No one escapes individual judgment. Your own works determine your reward. 10. Galatians 6:4. Each one should test their own actions. We must examine our lives personally and not compare ourselves to others. 11. Matthew 25:19. After a long time, the master returned and settled accounts with them. God entrusts each person with a task and will return to evaluate what was done. 12. Revelation 22:12. Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me. Jesus will bring rewards specific to your own faithful or unfaithful service. 13. Luke 9:23. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. Discipleship is personal. You must carry your own cross, not ride on someone else's faith. 14. 1 Peter 1:17. Since you call on a Father who judges each person's work impartially, God looks at each person without favoritism. What you do is what matters. Conclusion. To bear your own burden means to take full ownership of your spiritual life, walk in obedience, and be accountable before God. You cannot blame others, rely on their faith, or live passively. The Lord calls you to live responsibly, carry your own cross, and be faithful to the end. Amen.